After learning of Mayor McNamara's sudden announcement to step down at the end of next month, leaders of internal government organizations talk with our Samantha Soto about McNamara's impact during his time in office.
Of course, surprised, slightly disappointed, but mostly excited for him.
Surprise initially, and certainly sadness.
Mixed emotions following Monday's announcement from leaders who spent nearly a decade working alongside Rockford Mayor McNamara.
It has been the absolute honor and privilege of my life to work alongside a mayor who so clearly and intentionally and relentlessly centered the needs of our community.
McNamara helped lead the city's efforts in advocating for survivors of domestic violence. Under his leadership, Rockford opened the Family Peace Center in 2020, the first of its kind in Illinois.
We have elevated a conversation in this community that didn't exist before, and we have created an intense, coordinated community response for safety and health and recovery for our community right out of the Mayor's Office of Domestic and Community Violence Prevention.
McNamara also serves on the board of the Greater Rockford Chamber of Commerce. CEO Angela K. Larson says he helped drive the city's economic development.
That's so many things. That's building the infrastructure, that's developing the workforce, that's supporting innovation. So programs like Think Big, trying to work with people throughout the community to improve childcare to support workers, the unprecedented investments in our roads.
And as leaders look ahead to working with Rockford's next mayor, they say the goal is to keep building on the momentum.
I think our work now here is to make sure that that momentum keeps going.
That we keep the spirit of collaboration and that we keep everyone working together to make this region the best place to live, work, and play.
In Rockford, I'm Samantha Soto.
The mayor will end his time in office at the end of August before stepping in as the CEO of the Illinois Municipal League.